Good evening. A man is tonight under police guard in hospital, accused of setting fire to his own father at his Glenmore Park home near Penrith after a vicious fight and argument.
The victim never stood a chance, dying in his driveway, and 7 News has obtained exclusive video of the lead up to the deadly attack that could be the key to the investigation.
In the dead of night, a white Ford Falcon creeps down the road, pulling up around the corner from the victim's house. A man's then seen walking towards Worgan Crescent minutes before a shocking crime. Less than an hour later, he leaves the Glenmore Park scene. Behind him, smoke billows from the victim's driveway as emergency crews arrive to a confronting discovery.
A really distressing scene for our first responders, and not a normal scene for anybody to be confronted with.
The body of a man in his 60s found lying in the driveway, covered in burns. Police allege his son broke into the home, a fight erupting between the two men, ending in tragedy.
I can say that an accelerant appears to have been used during the course of the incident.
Less than 6 hours later, police arrested the 36-year-old in Werrington, 12 kilometres away. He was sitting inside his car, a white Ford Falcon, at a sports complex.
Yeah, horrific actually, just knowing that it's down the street.
Yeah, we're shocked.
Surprised.
We're shocked.
Police say the man is well known to them, but they told 7 News there's no previous evidence of domestic violence between the man and his father.
A night that's torn a family apart and left a community in shock. Tonight, the Glenmore Park home is still locked down. The 36-year-old man has spent the day in Nepean Hospital with minor burns to his hands and feet. Police say he was cooperative, though, when they found him inside his car. He's been under close guard while receiving treatment, and it's understood he could spend the night in hospital. At this stage, though, no charges have been laid.
Nick Overall reporting there, thank you. Let's get to some breaking news now. A female police officer has been rushed to hospital after being bashed this afternoon.
Let's go live to Leonie Ryan at Mascot Police Station. Leonie, this assault happened within the station walls there.
That's right, Angie and Michael. The 41-year-old here is at Mascot Police Station, where he had already been for a number of hours accused of assaulting another woman at another incident at Redfern this afternoon. 7 News understands he was arrested at about 1:45 this afternoon, where police say he preyed on a 19-year-old woman. He's alleged to have assaulted her and performed a sexual act. Several members of the public came to her aid, and he took off before he was arrested by police officers. He was eventually found and taken to the station here behind me for questioning, but he missed the cut-off to face the bail court and was scheduled to face court tomorrow morning. That's when he's alleged to have lashed out at a female police officer. We understand he punched the bail sergeant in the face. She was treated by paramedics and taken to hospital with serious facial injuries. The alleged attacker has now been re-arrested on separate serious allegations of assaulting another a female police officer. He will likely be charged in the coming hours.
All right, Leonie Ryan at Mascot, thank you very much for that. And police are investigating accused childcare predator Hamish Tait. They're appealing for more help. They've released images of clothes that could be linked to potential victims dating back years. More families have come forward, but there are still 16 children officers need to identify.
As Hamish Tait begins his second year in custody, detectives still work to find all the children he's accused of preying on.
We understand that families want answers quickly, but we must be thorough to identify every victim.
With 16 alleged victims still unknown, they've released images of their clothing, hoping parents or carers will recognise them. A puffer vest with a dinosaur pattern, likely taken at a Rouse Hill childcare centre in June 2023. Distinctive shorts and T-shirt with an animal pattern, also believed taken at a Rouse Hill centre between February 2020 and March 2024. And a two-tone shirt, likely taken at a Putney childcare centre January 2018. Police allege among the more than 2 million files found on dozens of devices seized from Tait's Glossodia home.
Every image may contain a clue that helps identify a child.
Tait's been charged with more than 300 offences involving 158 children over 16 years, working in childcare, mainly in Sydney's northwest.
As of yesterday, we spoke to 2 more families. Look, as a parent myself, I mean, the impact on these families can't be understated.
Since news of this operation first came to light, investigators say they've had more than 300 calls from the public as they work to try to identify more potential victims.
Our victim ID team is tenacious, they're committed, and will stop at nothing.
Paul Caddick, 7 News.
Police have declared a new era of crime on Sydney streets. The killers behind yesterday's gangland murder at Carlingford filming the shooting with a drone. The brazen video was posted online for all to see, drawing a horrified response from the Commissioner.
Underworld crime filmed from above. This is the shocking drone video distributed online overnight of a hooded figure walking casually away after shooting 35-year-old Jack Chung dead yesterday morning while he was sitting in his car outside his Carlingford home.
That footage is encouraging others and thinking that they have an impunity. I'll tell them that's not the case.
Chung's vehicle, seen here on dashcam, sat idling for hours before tradies made the grim discovery. It's not thought he was involved in organised crime, possibly targeted because of a relative's alleged links to the coconut cartel.
It's a new era in organised crime.
The message posted alongside the drone video claiming to be from the Albanian mafia. Translated, the Alameddine family awaits your turn. Blood will be drawn soon.
I don't know that the investigations confirm that that's correct. I think it's highly likely there's overseas actors involved.
Filming gangland hits has become commonplace as the underworld outsources bloodshed. Drone technology taking the violence to new heights.
Drone operators are one of those contract criminals. It's not acceptable for people to say, oh, I just drove the drone, or I just put the tracker on the vehicle. All of those people are facilitating organised crime.
Just because this drone was flying above this house, that doesn't mean those operating it took off from this location. Something like this can be piloted from kilometres away, and it's now possible that flight data logged automatically could now assist detectives in tracking down who is responsible.
The footage that is being put online assists us with our investigations as well.
Andrew Denny, 7 News.
New South Wales has recorded its second case of bird flu. The H5 infected petrel found at Hawk's Nest, north of Newcastle, the same location where the state's first case was detected almost a fortnight ago.
Let's cross live to Taylor Aiken. Now, Taylor, it brings the national total to 15.
That's right, Angie, but despite the number of cases climbing, authorities still believe that the risk to human health is low. Testing today confirming that the petrel found at Hawk's Nest was infected with the H5 bird flu strain. But the state's chief vet says this is likely another isolated case, which means increased surveillance is working, adding that all but one of the cases are individual seabirds found in coastal locations. There was also no evidence yet of any mass mortality events or detections in poultry or agricultural production. Anyone who spots a sick bird is being told not to touch it, but to take a photo if you can and contact authorities.
Taylor, thank you.
Pauline Hanson appears to be taking a break from her political tour of the UK, spotted soaking up the Sicilian sunshine with Gina Rinehart. Their poolside rendezvous at a luxury Italian hotel is raising eyebrows back home, where another One Nation senator is under fire.
The picturesque Sicilian resort city of Taormina, backdrop for season 2 of White Lotus.
Whenever I stay at a White Lotus, I always have a memorable time, always.
Now Pauline Hanson is making new memories, joining mining billionaire and One Nation benefactor Gina Rinehart poolside.
I wished I hadn't seen it. Images you don't want in your head.
Senator Hanson on a break from her UK visit, returning to address a Conservative conference in London on Saturday, following her controversial double act with far-right activist Tommy Robinson.
She's over in Italy right now, living it up, it seems.
Having lampooned the Prime Minister's overseas travel.
Elbow.
Why don't you stop splashing money overseas and start focusing on Australians first?
Her own expenses now under the microscope. Her office saying all taxpayer-funded travel will be disclosed as per the rules. And One Nation colleague Malcolm Roberts is also under fire for promoting discredited conspiracy theories and reposting an anti-Semitic trope. The Queensland Senator praising US conspiracy theorist Alex Jones as a beacon of hope, despite falsely claiming the Sandy Hook school massacre was a hoax. And on social media, describing an Illuminati conspiracy mural of supposed Jewish world domination as the most powerful pic I've ever seen. Senator Roberts posting today, first they came for Pauline, then they came for Barnaby, now it's my turn.
The question here for Pauline Hanson is, what is she going to do about it?
A question she will face when she returns to Australia. And she'll also face those serious questions over her travel, not just who's paying for it, but why she's doing it in the first place. Having criticised the major party's travel records for years now, Pauline Hanson is spending 2 weeks with right-wing disruptors in the UK after recently skipping her Senate responsibilities to fly to Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. Her opponents now reminding her none too subtly that the one nation she claims to represent is back here in Australia.
Thank you, Mark Riley in Canberra. There are fears tonight the confidential medical records of thousands of Sydney patients are now in the hands of criminals after a cyber attack on a national chain of GP clinics. Partnered Health has alerted its patients that their clinical notes and test results may have been compromised.
Doctor-patient confidentiality blown en masse. Hackers stealing private patient records from major healthcare provider Partnered Health, the company comprising 57 GP and skin clinics across the country, confirming at least 21 have been hit.
I couldn't believe it.
The company telling shocked clients it was attacked by a malicious actor.
Nowadays, they can impersonate anybody and they can say that I'm dying and I'm not.
Well, that's a bad one. Someone with malicious intent.
It's feared hackers might now have thousands of patient names and contact details, Medicare and other card numbers, as well as medical information and treatment details.
Pretty disappointing finding out that the security wasn't very strong.
Cyber criminals will breach an organisation and they'll hold them for ransom, and they'll say, give us money or we'll release the data publicly.
Just 48 hours ago, the Australian Government's Cybersecurity Centre warned of a rise in malicious attacks linked to Russia's domestic spy agency. It said major industries, including healthcare, should immediately upgrade their security systems. Partnered Health is working with authorities. The motive remains unclear. Vulnerable patients struggling to understand what could lie ahead.
I'm 80 years old and it's hard enough to use an iPhone.
Jackie Quist, 7 News.